I would turn it over to James Salamone, who is one of my plaintiffs, and he can describe his personal experience.
Well, my name is James Salamone. I'm from Herkimer County, state of New York, and I think this is a good thing that the senator is doing here. At least it helps the people. First, I want to tell you about the noise. The noise is terrible. 85% of the time, you'll get that 10 or 50%, they won't be churning. But the noise, it not only is outside, it's inside your home. Ivy Drola has come into my home along with the representatives from my town, elected officials, have came into my home, and they decided that in my best interest that they would give me a machine that makes noise in my house to block out the noise from a turbine that's about 1,500 feet from my home. The noise is terrible. I can't even begin. It sounds like an overhead jet that's stuck right over your house, and it just never goes away. There's other times in the winter time here it'll sound like a snowplow. It's like the noise reflects off of the snow, and it sounds like a snowplow going by your house. I'm a taxidermist. I've had people come to my home and, you know, they never thought these things made this kind of noise. How can you live with this? So the noise is a huge, it's devastating. It's just terrible. The view, 476 foot tall, rotor blades are from one rotor to another, is the length of a football field. And they say you get used to them. You don't get used to that. It's a monster. It's huge. And even I can tell you about machines that are 3,500 feet away, and they look like they're right there. I mean, they're just so big. We can see the whole project goes about 23 miles. You can see the whole thing. So I mean, it totally destroys everything that we would build, you know, homeowners and stuff. The shadow flickers. They're the worst thing that could ever happen to a person, and it should be against the law for these people to allow anything like that, because these things make you sick. They make you forget things. It's amazing how these things work. When the sun goes in back of the rotor, it creates the shadow, and they make you think it's a shadow, you know, like this. In reality, when the shadow goes off, it goes like this. So you're looking at something that's going 130, 140, 150 miles an hour when it's going by you. And it's enough to make you look, even on a video, it'll make you think it's going to hit you. And then off with the flickers, the wind companies will tell you there is no strobe effect. I'm here to tell you that there is a strobe effect. I'm sure that you all know what strobe lights are. If you have a shadow flicker, the shadow flicker goes by you. But if you're looking down on the ground, you can see where the sun is the back of the blade. It's like a flash going off. So it's like somebody taking a picture, and you know, and it goes off. You can't get used to any of this stuff. It's impossible. Another thing with the flickers inside your home, if you would have somebody get over there and stand next to the switch and turn it on and off, count to about 5, that's what it's like in our home. They've offered to give us black curtains, blackout, everything. I, as a taxidermist, had a showroom. I put up very dark curtains so that the sun doesn't come in and bleach the hair of the animals. It comes right through them. So no matter what we put on our windows, we're going to get the flicker coming in. And you just can't live with them, and it's a torture. I can't even begin to tell you how bad. Between the noise and the flickers, it just wipes you out. With the night lights, those aviation lights, those things are bright. I mean, they are huge bright. And it's not so much as the flash that gets you, but they don't tell you about the neon effect, which you got a 140-foot rotor. On one side, you got 340-foot rotors. And you can watch the light go off, and it's like a neon light going down the rotor, and then you'll see it go up another rotor. So you're not just looking at the flash, you're looking at these neon effects. And that there's enough to drive you crazy. And again, at night, you have to have your windows, your drapes closed, because the lights will drive you crazy. The wind companies, I don't think they care about anything about the people. I'm just saying that because I've had them in my home. You know, they just, it's all I get is talk, talk, talk. And it's with my neighbors. So if you take all of these, one other thing I'd bring to your attention too that I don't hear them talking about is the reflection. My house, in the front or the back, you got turbines in the front, the back, and on the side. The ones in the front of my house are 2,400 feet away, some of them are a little bit farther. If you look at my window as you're coming up the driveway, you can see them in my windows. So you can see the rotors going around, and you don't hear none of that stuff. So all of these things go to destroy your property value. People are not interested in going any place where you're gonna see all of this kind of thing and wanna move or build a home there. And I guess there's really not too much more that I can tell you. You know, I wanna keep it short. I don't wanna get you confused with a lot of, you know, there's just so many stories that the one company is gonna do this, the one company is gonna do that, they're gonna work with the town to do this, and the town's gonna. We've had 3 sound study tests. They did put up a noise reduction system. Iberdrola put that up to bring the noise levels down. We're being used as guinea pigs, never been used before, so let's experiment with these people. And that's just what you feel like. They have split our community beyond what I can even begin to tell you. It's not only the landowners who have them on their land are split with the people who are against the project, but now it's becoming the people who are against the project are going on each other's backs because we can't do anything. We're stuck. So hopefully my testimony will make this better for people that are you know, going to be subject to this. Hopefully you don't subject anybody to this kind of torture because that's what it is. These things belong 5-10 miles away from where people live. I mean, you just can't put stuff like this in close proximity to your homes. You know, like I said, I've got them. You can stand in my house and you can look across the road at turbines that are 1.75 miles away, and you can hear them just as clear can be, because they've done so many tests. They shut them off, and you go out there and you listen and you take all this in. So these things, and then when you combine them all together, it creates even a deeper, more pronounced sound. It's like everything is coming in on you, and you're done. You're their guinea pig. And when they're ready to do whatever it is they want to do, like experiment with giving us noise machines for our homes or noise reduction system, and nothing is working. I was going to bring the noise machine here today, turn it on over there so that we could talk and listen to it. And then you would understand what I'm talking about. And that doesn't even compare with the noise that these things make. So I would leave it at that. I didn't want to bring this up, the health effects. We've been in this project for 3 years now. I noticed the stress and the anxiety is terrible. About 7 months ago, I started with a little shake. I started forgetting things. I become very, very edgy. I would lose my temper quick with my wife, my family. They finally told me, you better go to the doctor and let's get this checked out. They did 2 months worth of tests on me, and everything come back negative. And my doctor told me, he goes, Jim, he goes, you got to get out of there. He goes, because you are so stressed out, so full of anxiety because of these things that they're controlling your life. So he has put me on medication, and it takes the edge off, but now when we go back home, I'm going to go back into this area again, and that edge is going to be nice and sharp again. And I don't like being on medicine. There's no reason that I have to be on it. But when my wife and my kids say, Dad, you know what, you're going to stroke out, man, you can't be like this. So it's something that I had to do. And I did go for a hearing test. I'm not going to get into that because there's a whole different ballgame. But there are sicknesses that are caused from sound, either high decibels or just continuous noise that will cause a slow frequency. It's a low frequency and it causes high frequency deafness. And I've been in this for years now, and I think I'm going deaf. Right now, my doctors are still putting my medical records together, but it's coming to this. I can't remember the name of what it is, that noise, of how the medical term for it. But there is a term for it, and they found it, and that's what they're looking into now. But their advice is to leave. That's not what I want to do. So hopefully you help your people here and take them into consideration.
Any questions of the committee? Thank you very much for coming up from New York.
Well, thank you very much for allowing me to take the time to